Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Reclaiming my time. Ms. Feinberg, just want to establish something. There's been an assertion, or at least an implication made in this committee that Congress itself and maybe certain individuals, a certain party are responsible financially for the mishap, the accident in Philadelphia. And so I just want to get the facts straight. It's my understanding as well that FRA has stated that a lack of public sector funding may cause unwanted delays in fully implementing PTC. And it also, according to my records, would cost about $131.2 million. $131.2 million to fully implement positive train control on the Northeast Corridor, the track that AMTRAK owns. Now, over 12 years, they lost over $1 billion in food service. It's also the Inspector General's opinion that AMTRAK paid large bonuses to ineligible management and staff. The 31 million AMTRAK tickets sold last year were subsidized by the taxpayers at the tune of $42 to $350 a piece. And this particular portion of the line makes anywhere from $400 to $500 million a year. It seems to me, plus we give AMTRAK. The taxpayers fund AMTRAK at the tune of 1.3 to whatever 2-point-something billion a year. How come they can't spend 10% of what they lost in food service on positive train control? And is it Congress's fault that positive train is it FRA's assertion that it's Congress's fault that PTC wasn't funded in the Northeast Corridor?
Well, on AMTRAK, AMTRAK has said that they will implement PTC by the congressionally mandated deadline of December 31st, 2015, and we believe that we agree with them that they can meet that deadline.
So it's not a funding issue?
AMTRAK does not have a funding issue in terms of PTC. They have said that they will meet the deadline.
AMTRAK, just to be clear, AMTRAK does not have a funding issue with PTC by the deadline. So it's not Congress's fault that it's not implemented timely. Correct or not correct?
AMTRAK specifically has said that they will meet the deadline.
Right.
We have had many conversations about the need for our request of the Congress to give additional assistance to commuter railroads to meet the deadline. We've also requested additional assistance for AMTRAK to meet the deadline. One
last question, Mr. Chairman. Before I came here, I think about 2009, $800 billion in stimulus was passed, and the majority of it was to go to infrastructure. If PTC was such a concern, how much was spent of the $800 billion, understanding that $131.2 million, a very small percentage, if you look at that, would be required to fully implement PTC in the Northeast Corridor? How much was spent, allocated by this Congress? How much was spent on PTC if it's such a priority? Do you know?
Ms. Feinberg, I'd ask for a quick response.
We'll have to get back to you with how much of that was spent.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.